Hey. All right, so welcome back. And I've got hey written there on the board, Hej, because Sweden and all that. And this was a great game. This was a fantastic game. It was Reimer versus Korpisalo as we have the wings and the Sens. There's a near miss by Rasmussen, and I had to put on the board, like, the seats are so vertical. So what I mean by that is just if you're sitting behind somebody in front of you, well, they're well below you. I think that's great for sight lines, very vertical. Probably scary stairs to be on. Either way, the shots are one apiece, 2.5 minutes into this one. Kachuk's denied. Zub fires the rebound wide. Bernard Docker flattens Rasmussen. There's an ozone penalty then by Rasmussen, who did not appreciate the hit for Bernard Docker. There's a shorthanded 2-on-1. That's defended by Chychrun and deflected to Korpisalo, who was wise to catch it with his glove and play it. And then, shortly after, on a rush the other way, Tkachuk scores. He tips it in from Batherson and Stützle at 5:57. Wings then draw themselves a power play. Gostisbehere fires one wide. It's cleared out. Larkin has a shot that's blocked. DeBrincat then has a shot that's held. That power play's killed off. Teams trade rushes after it's done. Sprong has a shot that's held. And then, great pass and buried. It is Tkachuk from Stützle at 9:57. Tim Stützle's having himself quite the start to the season. So, that is Kachuk's fifth two-goal game of the season. He has 10 goals, which means he has not scored just once in a game yet this year. He also does not yet have a hat trick in any given game this year, although he got close in this one. So Joseph then has a shot that's held as the Sens look for another. There's a delay game call. The Wings get a power play. One thing of note here, and I hope NHLers figure this out, the glass is shorter. The glass is not as tall in this arena as what they're used to in the NHL, so those plays off the glass they're used to making, they just clear the glass here, and it's a penalty. So Larkin has a rush chance saved. DeBrincat has a shot that's blocked. They cycle. Korpisalo holds with Perron on the doorstep. Perron said the puck was in. The ref says no. The ref says that the puck was there and the pads pushed in, and a review says yes. We then ended up with 34 seconds of 4-on-4, and during that brief 4-on-4, Sanderson scores. He buries one from the slot. Tarasenko and Norris with the assists at 13:09. Giroux then has a net feed picked off. Rasmussen hits Stützle. That draws a crowd because he can't be doing that. Tkachuk standing up for his teammate. So the Wings kill it off, but they're down by 3. So, again, we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Sprong has a rush chance that saved. Larkin with a near miss on a turnover. But after the first, it's 3-0 Sens. Now, the frustrating part for Detroit would have been they outplayed Ottawa in that first period, and it continues in the second. Sherrod has a blast glove aside. The Wings press. The puck goes the other way. And Norris scores to make it 4-0 at 1:18. Joseph and Tarasenko with the assists. Really nice passing. It was a rush goal, 3-on-2. Buried 5-hole. And then they talked about whether or not Reimer would get pulled. Well, Detroit plays again tomorrow, and they want Alex Lyon to start that game. So, no. Reimer was in there for the night. So, the interesting part being, he doesn't allow another goal for the rest of regulation. Hamonic has a blast kicked aside. Sprung then had a shot that was held the other way. Gostisbehere has a shot that's held as the Wings press. Raymond has a shot blocked. The Sens clear. And at this point, if Korpisalo sees it, he saves it. Really kind of having himself a great game at this point. He's controlling rebounds pretty well. Joseph then has a rebound chance that's held. There's some pushing. Sens press at 7 minutes, but they're kept to the outside, not getting shots on net. Things get pushy and punchy on a hold by Korpisalo. And then there's an ozone penalty on the Wings, it so appeared, with Joseph down, and they called a 4-minute high stick. But it was friendly fire. It was Brandstrom's high stick, so no penalty there, and we go back to 5-on-5 play. And then on a 2-on-1 rush, Raymond scores at 9:39, unassisted, so Lucas Raymond playing in Sweden, being Swedish, there you go. And it went in off Perron's hand. No, that's the next one. That's a spoiler. I spoiled it. I'm sorry. Batherson nearly answers. Kubalik has a shot that's held. Wallman has a shot that's saved and cleared. Giroux's denied and close. The Wings rush. Anytime I make a mistake, I'm just going to blame it on being overtired. But at any rate, Perron scores at 13:21 from Mata and Gostisbehere. Now it bounces over Korpisalo into the net. Off of his hand. The interesting thing is if it went off his stick, it would have been a high stick. And if he had gloved it, it would have been gloved in. It wouldn't have counted. But since it deflected off his hand into the net, it's a good goal. So that makes it 4-2, and this is where, if you're the Sens, a timeout might have been an idea because there's less than 4 minutes between the goals, but they do not call a timeout. Wings then look for another. They're outworking the Sens at this point. Faster to pucks, just more determined. DeBrincat fires one wide on a rush. Petrie has a chance kicked aside. And the Sens are kind of pinned down until 16:33. It's a backdoor pass, and DeBrincat scores his 11th of the season. Gostisbehere and Compher with the assist there. So Gostisbehere had himself quite the game. And that one broke the net camera as well, so that caused a little bit of a delay. Once we get back to play less than a minute later, Gostisbehere puts one in off of Bernard Docker from Compher and Mata at 17-12. In less than 8 minutes, this game went from 4-0 to 4-4. The Detroit Red Wings with a furious comeback. And honestly, they were the better team, so it made sense this game was at least tied coming out of that second period. The Wings did look for the lead. They had some opportunities, but it's 4-4 after 2. Clearly something changed for both teams going into that third period. Sens came out a lot better, although the early jump was for the Wings. We get a power play for the Senators. Wings clear early, and then it becomes a minute and 11 seconds of 5-on-3 for Ottawa. Larkin then is down. He needed help off the ice. He got tied up on a face-off with Tkachuk. There was no malice there. It looked like it was his ankle, but again, maybe it's one of those things he can walk off, you hope, right? So Giroux has a shot that's blocked. Then we get 4-on-3 for 32 seconds because it's a penalty parade, ladies and gentlemen. Tkachuk has a tip shot saved. The rebound's cleared. Everything's killed off there. Mata has a blast that's held. Perron had a shot held as well, as the Wings are starting to build momentum, and this is where Korpisalo is earning his pay today. Good back and forth. Hitting's picking up as well. Gostisbehere has his stick break on a prime opportunity in front of the net. Shots are 4 apiece at the half, which I didn't think was indicative of the play. I honestly thought to this stage the Wings were getting the better opportunities. Brandstrom has a shot that's blocked. The Wings clear. Batherson then has a deflected shot. That's held. Norris is denied on a rush, and then there's too many Wings on the ice. The Sens with a power play. These benches are huge. This is the other problem too. So it's very easy to end up with too many guys on the ice. But yeah, so that's with 5:24 left. There's an early clear. Sanderson has a shot that's kicked aside, and that power play's killed off. Tired, remember. So 1:31 left. There's a delay game call on Sherratt, and this again is where the low glass comes into play. In an NHL rink, that would have been banked off the glass and out, but because the glass is lower, it's out. The other thing of note too is stanchions much more frequent in the corners in this arena, so that's going to cause some havoc as well, I would think, in one of these 4 games at least. So Giroux has a shot that saved. The rebound's cleared. We are going to overtime. In overtime, the Wings do finish the kill. Compher decider gets picked off. The Wings think the Sens had too many on the ice. They were very vocal. There was no call. Larkin hits the outside of the post. Tkachuk is then denied on a breakaway because he's not allowed to have hat tricks. Only 2 goals allowed in the game. And he's not allowed to only score once either. No. Norris then has a rush chance. That's held. Larkin had one that was saved. It deflects out. Larkin's then denied from the slot. So whatever happened with him in that face-off, he was able to walk that off, I do believe. But then at 4:58, just as we're getting ready for the shootout, I was going to write the word shootout on the board, and I was like, never mind then. Stützle scores with less than 2 seconds left. Batherson and Sanderson with the assists. Tips it in just before the clock expires. So again, you play to the horn. And I kind of got the feeling like the Wings were, well, this is going to a shootout. Nope. The Sens win this one in overtime. They win back-to-back games for the first time in a while. They even their record at 7-7. For Detroit, they're 8-5-3 with the overtime loss. So the shots on net, 14-9 Detroit in the first, 19-10 Detroit in the second, and then 12-5 Ottawa in the third. Both teams had 3 shots in the overtime. Ottawa with the shot that matters. Final shots 41-34 for the Wings. Power plays, Detroit 0 for 3. Ottawa 1 for 6 hits. 29-14 for Detroit. Reimer 29 saves on 34 shots. He did recover from kind of a shaky start to this game. And Korpisalo was pretty good throughout. 37 saves on 41 shots. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.